And so we are the project Living Heritage for All. It's an Erasmus strategic partnership. We are working now for
it's unstable.
We are working since December 2020, and we will finish our project now this December. We are 7 organizations here, 7 partners. We are Creative Ideas from Latvia, the project coordinator. Then we have Almarex from Bulgaria, Livadia Municipality from Cyprus, Varnava Folklore Company from Greece, Pro Arbeit from Germany, Centrum for Interkulturelle Bildung und Arbeit from Germany, and the Green Elephant Foundation from Poland. The objectives of our project is to provide any interested person an opportunity to explore European intangible cultural heritage. And by doing this, we want to help to empower different vulnerable groups that our organizations are working with. So these are various types of groups. Just to name a few examples, those are migrants, ethnic minorities, youth, seniors, adults living also in rural areas, people with disabilities, and others. So what we want to achieve with our project, we are working on several results that will be available and partly are already available. So the first result that we have made is a comparative study about the cultural heritage in our countries. I will show you in the next slide. Then we also have finalized working on trainer's guide. Trainer's guide is also available in all the partner languages. And it contains recommendations how to work with vulnerable groups. And also we have a set of best practices from all our countries about different activities that our other organizations are implementing. Now we are working on a collection of workshops that we will present you today. And these workshops, they are already published on the internet in English, but will be available also in all partner languages. And they introduce several traditional foods, drinks, and crafts that anyone interested can try doing at home individually or maybe in groups in some workshops based on the instructions that we have provided. And finally, all this information is already available on our Heritage for All online learning platform. So here you can see this is the comparative study that I mentioned about promotion and safeguarding of local cultural heritage to empower vulnerable groups of society. This is a really interesting material. We suggest to check it out on our project's website. And here you can see this is the English version of the trainer's guide. Also, as I mentioned, offering you to get to know more about the different best practices that we are implementing in our organizations. So moving to today's topic, Living Heritage Workshops. The idea is that by using these workshops, you have the opportunity to explore the intangible heritage of our countries, of our 6 countries represented in this project. So those are either traditional recipes or cooking workshops, where we provide you also with a short story about this dish or drink and that its importance in our cultures, or we have several workshop and handicrafts workshops that, as mentioned before, you could do individually at home or maybe with other people together having your own workshop. So we have a website, as already mentioned, heritageforall.eu. We have also our Facebook account and Instagram account where you can follow us, and we regularly publish really interesting posts and give a lot of information about different festivals, not only the information that we have collected here in the study or trainer's guide, but also other interesting facts and stories. So now it's time to move on, and now each of the partner will present the workshops that they have created, and we will start with our colleagues from Bulgaria, so Almarex.
At least some people are trying to enter, and I think they are waiting for them.
I did let in everyone who was in the room. Now we have 27 people. No one's in the waiting room. Yes, for some moment when I was presenting, I think everything should be okay now. Let me know if there are any problems, but I don't see anyone in the waiting room now.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you everyone who has joined today. For those that joined a bit later, now today we will present 20 workshops that we have created in this project, Living Heritage for All. And those workshops are presenting the intangible cultural heritage of 6 countries represented in this project. And they give you opportunity to find out more about either some foods or drinks related to our cultures or handicrafts. And now the project partners, one by one, they will tell shortly about their presentation, their workshops that they have made and that we have already published in English, but they will be available also in all the partner languages. Svetla, do you need any assistance with the presentation?
Svetla, you are muted. If you can hear us.
Yes, sorry, Svetla, we don't hear you.
Sorry, internet is not good in here. Hello, everybody. Our organization present you free workshops, food and craft related to Bulgarian tradition. So the first workshop we held was related to the national cuisine and to the traditions of the autumn season, a season of abundance and of fruits and vegetables. Autumn festivals are rich in symbolism and charged with spirit. They are associated with gratitude to the earth for the rich harvest. Such is the character of the distribution of the fruit to the first ripe fruits, so that there is abundance and general well-being. The women prepare winter food, jams made from the ripe fruits, pickles, vegetable in marinade, and other types of preserves. Guests are invited to a rich meal to make the year full, happy, and full of good experience. A sweet pumpkin pie tikvenik must be present at the table. The preparation of sweet pastry pumpkin is associated with a custom of the autumn preserved to this day in some regions of country, mainly in agriculture areas. The sweet pumpkin pie is a type of sweet banitsa. Banitsa is a typical national food. Is very typical food of many Balkan countries. Its preparation is very easy and its taste is excellent. Hand toast, already made crusts are used according to custom. The oldest woman in the family chooses the largest, ripest, and the yellowest pumpkin. She sifts the flour, makes dough, and rolls thin sheets. Each crust filled with grated pumpkin, sugar, and a little fat. Walnuts and grated quince may be added to the mixture. Then we bake the prepared crust and finally sprinkle with powdered sugar. We recommend you to have the sweet pie to feel its wonderful taste. The second workshop is related to the spring. Martinica is very good tradition in Bulgaria. We organize a local workshop on 16th of February, held in town of Sliven together with trainers from the organization foundation Initiative Empathy. And it really was a very exciting, emotional experience. The custom of wearing martinis is probably one of the interesting Bulgarian tradition and considered unique for Bulgaria. In 2017, UNESCO recognized it as a cultural heritage and part of our cultural heritage. It's preserved an Asian pagan tradition. There are many legends about the origin of this custom, some of them dating back to the 7th century. Other legends link the Martinica to Thracian beliefs. How to prepare Martinica, how to make Martinica yourself. Cultural practice and tradition dictate that the Martinica be were on the 1st of March, when Bulgarians celebrate a holiday called Baba Marta, or Grandma March. Marta also means March and is associated with its coming of spring. People hope that this will make the winter go away faster and bring spring. In our workshop, we show how to make your own Piju and Panda Martinica. Who are these little dolls? Legend has turned the young lovers, Piju and Panda, together with Baba Marta, Grandma March, into some of the fondest symbol of the first March. Piju and Panda had inspired the making of numerous Martinicas with their images, because the story of their life is passed on by word of mouth in folk art. It has become a symbol of the new beginning and the reviving of nature in spring. Even to this day, Piju and Panda call on us from the Martinicas every year and remind us of the power of love, which embodies a person and makes him immortal. In our presentation and in our workshop, we show you 5 easy, very easy steps to make your own Martenica. The third workshop, we related to the Easter holidays. We have planned to hold this local workshop, at the end of the March in the town of Kazanluk. In this way, we would like to bring our workshop closer to the upcoming Easter holidays. The third workshop is related to Easter eggs. In Bulgaria, it is widespread to dye eggs for Easter in every family. It is very attractive for children. Always, the first egg is dyed red and the cross is drawn at the forehead of the children. This egg is left for home as a symbol of health and lucky. It is a widespread custom in Bulgaria after Easter for both children and adults like this and adults to knock with the painted eggs. This is like a game in which the stronger egg wins. We present some untraditional techniques for decorating Easter eggs. One of them is the very oldest and earliest techniques using a wax pen or wax candle. The other techniques we present in our workshop is to use natural products for dyeing Easter eggs. The original way to dye eggs, natural, bio-organic, has entered and it in your kitchen cupboard, you will find almost all the necessary ingredients, spices, vegetables, fruits, even your favorite strong espresso. That's our free workshops. We highly recommend you to test our workshops and recharge yourself with positive energy and emotions. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Svetla, for an excellent presentation. We had some problems with the sound due to internet, but no problem because I think your presentation anyway gave a very good visual and also some additional text. So okay. Everything is clear and thank you very much. I can add that in Latvia, we actually did the workshop. We were making these martenicas with kids and adults, and it was really an enjoyable activity. And as Svetla said, very easy to make them by using the instructions. So we could explore some Bulgarian heritage in Latvia. Thank you, Svetla. And now I would give floor then to our colleagues from Cyprus, so Evdokia, with the Cypriot workshops.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all, and nice to see that we have so many people participating to our seminar. Can you see my screen?
It's coming, your screen.
Perfect. Okay, so here in Cyprus, we developed 3 workshops. The basic idea is to make people to learn the Cypriot traditions, because it was also focused on some foreigners, on refugees that we have here, but also to make it for our young generations to learn a little bit from our traditions and try to continue it. So one of these is one of the first workshop was the Cyprus coffee and olive bread. Actually, the culture of the Cyprus coffee came to Cyprus in 1571, when the Ottomans took power of the island, and they bring it here. So from that time, it started being a ritual for the Cypriots, which does not necessarily has to take place during the morning. Actually, a lot of people here in Cyprus, they enjoy it on afternoon or even on evening. And something that is very important is that is the mystery of communication, the way that it inspires communication among people, long conversations with friends and with neighbors, and since that this coffee makes it all happen. You will find a lot of cafe neon, as we call it, coffee shops here in Cyprus, where it's a place where you can meet your friends and enjoy a cup of Greek or Cypriot coffee, as we call it, and enjoy a conversation. One thing that it was, and you can see there a picture in black and white, is from the old times, that actually that time it was only allowed for men to go to the coffee shop, and they were talking mostly about politics and news, or they were just relaxing. And you don't need much, you need just a table and a few chairs, and there the people start to meet and start to discuss. As I said, this inspires a communication among people. And also we had the women that they used to meet together, usually at homes at the old times. Now, of course, they can go to the coffee shop, and they were doing this, reading the future from the coffee grounds, as you can see from one of the pictures. So after you were drinking the coffee, they could see the residuals and give you some kind of what will happen in the future. Cyprus coffee is really actually very strong. That's why usually we serve it with a glass of cold still water, and it has a different variation starting from how you want to drink it, if you wanted to have it with sugar, medium sweet, or very sweet. And it's actually very easy to make it. You need just water. There's the Cyprus coffee that you can find really everywhere in the supermarkets, and gas stove, and this small brick, as we call it, is a small actually pot, and you just put the water, and if you want sugar, you boil it, and as soon as it rises, it's ready to be served into your cup, and you can enjoy it with different friends. So now of the workshop was something to combine with. So we have the olive bread. So it comes from the fact that what Cypriots used to have for breakfast some generations ago, actually they had bread and olives, which is a part of the Mediterranean diet. It kept them very strong and healthy during the working at the different fields. So this has been evolved during the time, and it became the Cyprus olive pie, or as we may say, olive bread. It is a tradition that we also have it during the fasting time. And it's also very easy. You need the different ingredients like the olives, the mint, the onions. You just need to chop them. And of course, to make the stuff from the flour, and you add all your ingredients, and you just put them in the oven. It's ready to be served. So usually we serve it with a very nice cup of coffee. The second workshop was something that we have here in Cyprus as an Easter tradition, which is the Cyprus flauna. It has been made in Cyprus since the 19th century, and we prepare them during the Orthodox Easter. Is actually a cheese-filled pastry with a specific cheese that is made here in Cyprus. It's called pafidiko, and it's really very aromatic. And we put also some raisins, and we garnish with sesame seed. They are savory, but really very flavorful and beautiful cheese spread, where you can also drink it with the Cyprus coffee. So they were doing it, usually they do, the women here, they start the preparations on the Good Friday. So they have it ready for the consumption on Easter Sunday. And that's why I said they are eaten in the old times, they were eaten in place of the bread, and they continue during now this time to make it. And soon we will have Easter, and here in Cyprus, they will start the preparations for making the flaunes. And creating the flaunas is something that is a family tradition. So you will see the women, the grandchildren all together to make the flauna. So you have a lot of people in the kitchen. You have it's like a production line actually, because we make a lot, and all of them is participating in this creation of the Cyprus flauna. And something interesting is that the flauna was offered also to children who went from house to house singing about the coming of the spring. And it was also given to them as, let's say, something that they could eat. So, and the third workshop is about Cypriot mosaics. Mosaics are world-renowned showpiece actually of Cyprus, as one of the most famous things that if you want to come to the island, you will be able to see. And actually dates with a very long history of the island, over 1,000 years. And the first actually specimens were uncovered during an archaeological explorations between 1553 BC. And also there is various types of rocks originating from the island. It's very rich. So we have a lot of mosaics at this time. They were flourishing. Nowadays, this art is also being used in the island, and if you can see now, these are the modern mosaics that we have in the cities, especially here in Larnaca. We have also a neighborhood that is full of these small local art workshops that they are doing the different mosaics. And now they have been used on floors, on walls, on private interiors, even in different rooms, in order to bring these new aesthetic qualities. And as I said, we have a lot of art of these small art workshops that even now they are teaching, and they are doing some training workshops for the kids or for everyone who is, let's say, interested. And it's really very nice to continue this art as well, and to make beautiful things that you can have in decoration for your house. And also here you can see some pictures from our workshops when we were making the Cyprus flauna. We will do it actually again now that we are close to Easter. Some of our people seeing the different coffee seeds and what they did with the different mosaics. So I hope you try and test one of our workshops and to enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evdokia, also on such an interesting presentation and fantastic workshops you have created. Has someone tried these Cypriot workshops or not yet? That's a question of our partnership.
We haven't tried it yet, but we are planning to do the mosaic workshop very soon. So yes, we wanted to wait a bit until we can rent a room safely, and then we will try it.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Yes, I remember. Yeah, you wanted to try it. Yeah, I think it will be a very interesting experience making a mosaic.
To be honest, Alice, in our case, we call it Bosnian coffee. So we have, Evdokia is laughing, yes. So I took,
and in our Greek coffee.
What about Turkish coffee?
But I bought a Greek, Cyprus coffee when I was there last time. So we are drinking Bosnian coffee with Cyprus coffee. And well, we will talk about Bulgaria and have a Bulgarian coffee as well. But it's a yeah. So we actually did try out this kind of video. Thank you.
Oh, great. So now we will move to our Greek colleagues who also drink Greek coffee, and they also have Cafe Neo. So Anna will introduce us with some of the Greek workshops.
Okay, thank you, Alice. Thank you all for being here today. I will start with a few words about our organization. Folklore Company of Varnavas in the municipality of Marathon was established in 2002, and it is a non-profit organization with an educational, cultural, social, developmental, and spiritual purpose. FCB established and operates 2 museums in Varnavas, the Interactive Historical Folklore Museum and the European Museum of Bread. The first one was established in 2003 and the second one in 2005. For the purposes of our project, our Erasmus Plus project, we presented 3 workshops. The Gogles, it's a Greek traditional pasta. Mrs. Land, which is an old custom connected with Easter and Orthodox Church, and the Mass cookies. They are cookies made from grape juice. Let's start with Gogles. Gogles come from ancient Greece. They are made from flour, water, and salt, and their shape is cylindrical. The ingredients we use is flour, water as needed, 1 teaspoon of salt, yeast, olive oil, and Mizidra cheese. And Gogles are mainly made during Carnival, and it is considered as a main dish due to religious fasting. So we prepare Gogles nowadays as well during the 45 days from Clean Monday to Easter, because we do not eat meat those days. Mrs. Land is the second workshop. Mrs. Land has her own poem. I'll try to show you a short video later about that. It was a kind of a calendar to count the weeks from Clean Monday to Holy Week. Mrs. Land has 7 legs, 1 for each week of the Lenten season. It is made from 1 kilo of flour, water as needed, and some cloves for the decoration. Mrs. Land's hands are crossed because she's praying. She has no mouth because she's fasting. She also has no nose, so she doesn't smell and is tempted to eat. And she has a cross on her head because she goes to the church. And the Mass cookies, Mass was originally used by the ancient Greeks. Later on, the Asia Minor people used Mass for sweets. In the Samos Island, on pancakes. On the islands in grass pies, like Tinos, island Tinos. And especially in the Cyclades, in fish dishes. For the Mass cookies, we need 1 glass of must, 1 glass of oil, half a glass of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and as much as needed flour. Mass cookies are related with the Greek cultural heritage because of the wine and the vines. Every autumn, we harvest the grapes from the vines. We press them with our feet in the wine press traditionally, and we get the grape juice. We transfer that juice to the barrels if we want to make wine or tsipuro, or we boil it in order to get the must that will provide us with must cookies and mustalevria. Thank you for your attention, and give me a second in order to share with you our little video with Mrs. Land's, poem. I don't know if you can see it.
We can see the video, Anna, yes.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear the
But we
sound.
don't hear the sound, no.
Okay, let me try again 1 more time. And if not, I will say the poem. What about now? No. Okay. Η κυρά Σαρακοστή είναι έτοιμο παλιό. Οι γιαγιάδες την έφτιαχναν με αλεύρι και νερό. Για στολίδι της φορούσαν, στο κεφάλι ένα σταυρό και το στόμα της ξεχνούσαν γιατί νίστευε καιρό. Και τις μέρες τις μετρούσαν με τα πόδια της τα 7, κόβαν ένα τη βδομάδα μέχρι να έρθει η Πασχαλιά. Okay. I will stop sharing now. It was a very...
Thank you, Anna.
Some of you, I think you understand the words, some others not, but next time I will try to... in the education platform, you can find that poem translated, if you are interested.
Yes, I think I saw it. Yeah, we have it. Thank you, Anna. Very much. So, dear colleagues from Poland, Green Elephant Foundation, I think you already tried to make that Greek little pasta, no?
Yeah, we tried and we did, but I don't know how it went. Anyway, it was really good with feta cheese and with olive oil. So it was a great adventure. But we have the problem with making them decorated.
Yeah, it needs a lot of experience in order to do. Every next time you will be better at it.
But my sister mastered it after an hour trying, and we have it on our video, so it was quite better.
Anna, sorry, Anna, we also tested cookies with grape juice, and it was very tasty, and we eat with coffee, and we have Greek friends which live in Sofia. They help us to prepare and to eat just right these cookies.
Thank you, Svetla. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Yes, they are tasteful, and it's a perfect combination with coffee. You are right.
So everyone, as you can see, we already are trying these workshops, testing them. So anyone is invited to do the same at your home or with your friends or in your organization. So now I will give the floor to our colleagues from Germany, Pro Arbeit.
Hello.
Hi.
So, yes, before we start to tell you something about our workshops from Germany, our traditional, Amira is going to tell you something about Pro Arbeit.
We are, as public institutions, we are a job center, actually in charge for labor market integration, which is very far from the cultural heritage in the first sense. But when we talk about keeping heritage, then we have to talk about labor market integration, because we motivate the people to work and to sustain the heritage we have in the county. So for us, I really have to say that this project has moved discussion about cultural heritage and the young people getting motivated to work in the old handcrafts we have in Germany. Our main task is provision of benefits, as I said before, for labor market integration of the people who are long-term unemployed, but we are taking care of integration, migrants, refugees, asylum seekers. Ukraine is now our topic that we are very much involved in, and so on. So yeah, that's very short about Pro Arbeit as organization, but just to give you some input about that, because for us the project is not only to try out the videos, but to go higher, to go on some meta level, to try to keep living to try to keep heritage living and to try to make connections into the city and in the county of Offenbach in order to keep the heritage surviving, which is very difficult in economically, I don't know, advanced country, because we really take care of some technologies and so on, and handcraft is not that much in focus. So, but I will tell a bit more about our networking and concrete work after Sarah presents the videos.
Yeah, until now we created 2 different workshops. One of them is created with our cooperation partner Hessen Park. It's also in Hessia, Neuansbach. We got a video from them and created the subtitles in English and also in German, and we shortened it a little bit to make it a little bit more for social media. Yeah, dyeing Easter eggs is also, not also in Bulgaria, also in Germany, a common tradition. There are many techniques to do that alone in Germany. And as we saw also in Bulgaria, you can color them, you can paint them, you can put stickers on them. And in this video is explained how you can dye it with natural colors and from with, for example, onion skins. And there are also other techniques to do it with 4 other food, as you can see here. Yeah, I hope you have fun watching it. You can also find it on the on our Moodle platform. Yeah, and the second tradition we have is table culture, folding napkins. We have the 2 different kind of techniques explained, 2 different videos, also with subtitles, step-by-step instruction. Yeah, on every festive event, a table is also decorated with candles, a little table decoration, also folded napkins, as you can see here. Yeah, and now Amira is going to tell you something about, as you already mentioned, our networking cooperations to keeping traditions alive.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. So as you see, we don't very much concentrate on the videos only, but we decided to take this project as an kind of initiation to create a networking. What you see here is the town that was actually built out of all old houses from Germany on the same place. So they moved the house, for example, for south of Hessia to bring one-to-one into this small town. So for all partners who are going to visit us in Germany, we will go there to this Hessian park. So it's a park of Hessian housing, but also park of Hessian heritage, which means every single house has a different kind of handcrafts that you can visit, starting with wooden heritage, with some kind of stitching, with making apple pies, and all these kind of traditions you will find on one place. Everything what happened in Hessia, let's say 400 years ago, you will find in this small village called Hessian Park. So for us, the woman who was presenting the eggs, the painting eggs, is from the Hessian Park. So this is our local cooperation partner, helping us to motivate young people to do their own VT and start working as a handcraft. I don't know now, building houses, taking care of animals. There are so many jobs they have here in this place. And we are trying, even the something that we saw in Cyprus as well, the silver design of I don't know, spoons or even design for necklaces and so on, you will find there as well. So Hessian Park is our main local partner. We found another actors in Hessia in the county of Offenbach, in order to create kind of strong networking, to make exact steps how to come from the campaign for the young people to the VET, and then at the end of the day to have them to do some apprenticeships and start working. So yeah, for us as a job center, I think it's drive. It's not that vivid as in your case. It is more drive and more collaborations, but we hope at the end of the project to have, let's say, 5-10 young people keeping our heritage living. That's it.
Thank you, Amira, very much. It's an excellent example how we see that the intangible cultural heritage can be also used to promote local entrepreneurship. So we do two things at the same time. We keep our traditions alive and we give job opportunities.
Yeah. So we tried out the cookies, and I also have to say that there are two things that we keep here. We have a colleague who is mentally disadvantaged. So he checked all your videos and could decide which of these videos he's going to do himself alone. And he did the cookies from Greece. He made it perfectly, and we were like, it was very, very nice to see, because he came to the office and he brought the cookies and said that that's something I made. So for Greek colleagues, thank you very, very much, because he felt so important doing this kind of job. So now we are trying to motivate the mentally disordered persons also in our job center to turn a bit to the heritage. So let's see what we get at the end of the project. But thank you for this.
Thank you, Amira, too,
for all the good job you're doing with people with disabilities and disorders. And I think that this is the point of what every organization in this partnership wants to do. We want to be to create useful material for people that we need they need it, and material that will help them do things and think that they are important and they are not you know, disabled to enter the society. And thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, very good examples from our colleagues in Germany, indeed, how we can use these materials we have created, and of course beyond this project, because our aim is to use them much more than just here, just for these workshops. So now we are still in Germany, and now we'll go to the north, close to Hamburg, Ahrensburg. So our colleagues from Zip, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alice. I see you already introduced from where we are. Very good. Thank you. Yes, we are, as Alice said, from Ahrensburg, near Hamburg, in the north of Germany. And my colleague Anna and me will present you our workshops. I think, yes, can you use your screen, Anna? Yes. Yes, our company is founded in 2003, and since then we are working in the field of adult education and culture. And yes, Anna will start now with the first workshops, and then I will present the last one.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Anna, and I am part of the SIP team. Can you see my screen?
Yes, very good.
Perfect. Okay. So yes, we will present our workshops. What we did here was a collection of workshops from different countries around the world. So we'll present this now. So our main goal, as Alice at the beginning said, is to support the inclusion of migrants. So we have a lot of migrants here in Hamburg or Ahrensburg. So we want to try to give them the opportunity to socialize, to have some inclusion, and to develop at the same time some skills related with cultural heritage. So these workshops will kind of represent a little bit more about the history and the culture in those different countries. We hope you enjoy it. So the first one that we did was the Day of the Dead. This is a very traditional holiday in Mexico, and this is in Central America. And it is related to a lot of traditions related to the dead, but not in a sad way. It's more like a colorful festival in honor of the people that passed away. So basically they do some different traditions, like we may learn to do these flowers of paper, and with that we can do this called altar, and this like this arc, and yeah, the altar represents like the way that every person needs to go through when they passed away. So it represents the earth and the heaven, and yes, it's a very, very interesting celebration that they do there, and also with a lot of traditional food that symbolize yes, this local tradition in Mexico. We did another workshop. Related with Afghanistan. We have a lot of participants from Afghanistan, migrants, and it was about food and culture. And it is the Afghanistan food, it is very interesting, has a lot of influence of India and Uzbekistan and some different regions around this country. So we learned about it. Has a lot of spices like turmeric, like pepper, saffron, cardamom. So we learned a lot from these different food that they have there. This is bulani. This is something made with flour and onions and potatoes, or they have also kabli puloa, the most popular dish in Afghanistan, with some rice with raisins and carrots. Yes. Another very interesting point that we learned in this workshop was the traditional dresses that they do. As you can see, also they have a lot of influence of India. And yeah, we learned how they design these dresses. They're more like with squares, with a lot of little details like mirrors. Yes, they have a lot of variations, and they use this, and this tradition is literally kind of dying because not a lot of people use these dresses nowadays. So yeah, it was very interesting to learn how they still keep this kind of traditional dresses. Here is the henna tattoo. It is very beautiful, and it's like a kind of flower chain that women do in Afghanistan, and also in India they do that. You can find a lot of designs in internet, and just try to do it yourself. We did all of this, and it was really interesting to learn how to do this. Our third workshop was about dancing. This is a cultural expression in Latin America, in South America, and Central America. This is more like a way of communication, and a lot of people learned how to dance, how to learn about these rhythms. We learned basically about 3 rhythms, which is salsa, bachata, and merengue. And those are 3 very traditional ways to dance in Latin America. So here, so you can see our participants enjoy it a lot. And as I said, this is more like a social tradition, and more like a way of expressing ourselves and expressing emotions. So this was about that. Our last workshop, I will share this with Denny. Denny, do you want to present this one?
Yes, I can do it. Yes, the last workshop was our gin workshop. Yes, gin is originally invented in Dutch. So yes, it was originally used to fight fever attacks. But yes, in the meantime, it also became very popular here in Germany. And yes, many people brew it themselves. And we also have many breweries who are making gin. And yes, and another advantage is that the flavor of the gin comes not from the alcohol inside, it comes from the ingredients. Yes, and this was a good advantage because we also had many participants who don't drink alcohol. And yes, we prepared it by putting as the first step is to put juniper berries into vodka or the liquid without alcohol. And then after a day, we could put other ingredients inside. Yes, you can put nearly everything which gives flavor into the liquid inside the vodka or the other liquid. And yes, you can. Some examples are that you can put spices and herbs like pepper, aniseed, cinnamon, and also other things, or roots like ginger and iris, and berries, fruit and seed like almond, lemon pea, and also floral botanicals like elderflower or rose petals. And yes, in the workshop, you can also find it on our educational platform where we also wrote how the different ingredients will change the flavor of the gin. And yes, normally a gin has 4 to 10 botanicals, but you can also put up to 50 inside. And yes, you have to try yourself which botanicals you like and which will be your favorite in the end. Yes, after we prepared this, these are the bottles where we put the gin inside. We have it left is with alcohol and the right one is without alcohol. And yes, after you put all the botanicals inside the liquid, you have to wait a few hours to get the flavor of the ingredients into the liquid. And in the meantime, yes, we made some tasting of tonic water because yes, with the normally gin, you mix it with tonic. This is the normal mixture here for a drink. So we tasted different tonic waters and looked how the flavor of the gin changed with the different tonics. We had about 8 different ones, and yes, it was very exciting how the flavor of the gin changed only because you put another tonic inside. And yes, on the online platform, you will also find a recipe for gin ice. I tasted it also. It was very delicious. So don't forget to look on our online platform. And yes, you can also see how the gin or your alcohol-free gin or your alcohol gin is made there. Yes, this is about our gin workshop. And I think this is the end of our presentation, Anna, or is there another for it? No.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna and Benny. And I had this fantastic idea that in our workshops, we should include not only the European cultural heritage, but to look beyond in the whole world, because they work a lot with people coming from foreign countries. So I think it has made our project even richer, looking at the world intangible cultural heritage actually at the end. So thank you very much for your work and your examples. And now I will give the floor to our colleagues from Poland, from Green Elephant Foundation.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Carolina.
Lovely. So today I'd like to show you 3 customs from Poland. And in Poland, we have a very wide traditions of food and drinks. And that's basically what we always stand for, about foods and drinks. But I'm not going to teach you how to make vodka, because that may be a bit illegal. But if you would like to know that we can try all of these sweets and things with vodka, because that's the best way to taste it. But remember that we can drink after 12, because before 12 you cannot drink in Poland if you don't want to be recognized as an alcoholic. So
it's
so
already 12 and 5. For you it's 11. Yeah, for us it's already
me it's
12.
11. So I need to wait 55 minutes more to start drinking. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to show you today is pączki and faworki. And that on the screen on the left, the very colorful ones, you can see that's pączki. And on the second picture, there are faworki. And the tradition is connected with Fat Thursday. Fat Thursday is a day when we forget about counting calories at all. And that's the best thing that can happen in our lives, because for this one day, nothing counts and you cannot gain weight when there is a Fat Thursday. And that's the last day before the Lent in Poland. And that's the day that begins the last week of Carnival as well. And according to tradition, on Fat Thursday, and that's the true, and we continue this tradition, that we do not regret ourselves treats, and culinary debauchery is justified, so you cannot gain weight, as I mentioned. And custom of eating donuts in Poland settled as early in 17th century. The date of Fat Thursday moves because there is like Easter is no set in exact dates, but the days count. So initially they were prepared not in a sweet way, but they were prepared in the form of duff stuff with pork, meat or cabbage or something like this, and they were always served with vodka. Around 16th century, the salty filling was replaced by marmalade or chocolate, and it stayed that way till now. And the most popular dishes are pączki and faworki, and they are also called chrust or chruściki. So you can try to say it, chruściki. It's a very nice name. In my region, for example, we call it chruściki. Not faworki, because it's more Polish that way. Okay. So here you have ingredients for pączki, and it's a wheat flour, milk, butter, yeast, yolk, sugar, a glass of spirits, vanilla, teaspoon salt, rose jam, for example. That's the best filling for donuts with a rose jam. Yeah, and here you have faworki ingredients that basically the same, but the way of making them differs, because in case of pączki, here you have what's going on with pączki. First, you need to make a dough. So you are mixing yeast and a tablespoon of sugar and flour, and then you just leave it to rise, and then you make balls. And you put marmalade inside, and then you fry it in a deep oil, and then you are just like adding the icing sugar, and that's the best thing that can ever happen to you. Look at them. They are beautiful, and you cannot get fat because of them. So I think that's the most comforting thing in donuts. The second one is faworki, and the preparing is a little bit more complicated, because the dough is basically the same, but you can check out like for more on our web page. But like when you are cutting them, you need to do the ribbon, something like a ribbon. So you need to go through the hole with the rest of the faworek, and then you fry it just the same way that you fried donuts, and you adding icy sugar as well. And it's really delicious, and I really strongly recommend it to try but I need to warn you that it's really addictive. So if you try to eat one faworek or one pączek, you cannot stop. But you need to remember that Fat Thursday, that's the only day that you don't get fat. Like if you eat it later, then I'm so sorry. But anyway, the next thing that I would like to show you, that's our second tradition, and we call it Polish pizza. And as you probably know, Poland is a little bit poor country, so we do not have money for better ingredients. So we do our pizza with onion, because that's the only thing that we can grow ourselves. And but it's really delicious. So a bit of history. Cebularz lubelski. Cebularz, it's an onion cake in general, and that's the full name of the onion and poppy seed cake, a local specialty that has been recognized as a regional product and has a protected geographical indication. And long before the art of baking existed, the Słows baked cakes from flour, water, and salt, called scones. In Polish, it's podpłomyki. So we had something like this, and that was just a bit of dough, but we decided that it's not enough to feel full. So we decided that it will be great to add something. But as we, at the beginning, we were a very poor nation, and we needed to handle it somehow. So the origins were like this. We started making just food from flour, and from water, and then that was the origin of our onion cakes. And according to the legend, it was baked for King Casimir the Great by his betrothed Esther, whom the king often visited in Kazimierz Dolny on the Vistula River. We have the lubelski cebularz, and that's the most traditional and the most regional one, because in 1682 Compendium Feroculum was published in Krakow, considered to be the first Polish cookbook, and there was the cebularz mentioned in there. The first description and recollections of it date back to the 19th century. And at that time, it is said to have already been baked in Jewish bakeries in the Lublin Bailey, so that's my city. This is when cebularz gained its popularity. It became a mass product thanks to the fact that it was cheap, nutritious, and tasty. And it was sold by street vendors who kept the bread in wicker baskets carried on the backs or shoulders. However, it is not really known whether this pancake with onions and poppy seeds, a traditional Jewish pastry, is popularized in the industrial area of 19th and 20th centuries, or maybe the result of an indigenous idea, the master of his apprentice of one of the tiny Jewish bakeries. But one thing is certain: onion cakes are known all over Poland, but only here they do taste so delicious. So if you want to try the best cebularz, you need to come to Lublin. We even have our own museum of cebularz in Lublin, and you can make your own cebularz. So the dough is very simple. So you need to have fresh yeast and sugar, flour, warm milk or water, 1 egg, teaspoon salt and butter. And for the filling, that's only onions, poppy seeds, and teaspoon and a little bit of oil. And you need to make the dough 1 or 2 days before baking the onions, because it will be better. Then you mix the dough, you put the filling, and you bake it like this. And it looks really extraordinary. So thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope that we will see each other in Lublin soon to try the best cebularz in the world.
Thank you, Karolina, very much. You really made us think about this Fat Thursday with a bigger joy. By the way, did it already pass? Because in Greece, we had already a similar day before the Lent. And according to your calendar as well, because we have a different one, right? It's okay.
I still have some ponchki in my freezer to wait for another year because I cannot eat them during the year in order to not to weigh 100 pounds. So I need
Oh,
to
we
wait.
know
for
what
them.
we will do next year on Thursday.
So I'll bake a fresh ones for you, I promise.
Thank you very much. So now we have left our workshops from Latvia that I will shortly introduce you now with. So we have made so far 2 workshops. One is the Latvian Rug, and the other one is Latvian Puzurs or Himeli, it's also called. I'll show it in the next slides. So the first handicraft that we have provided very detailed instructions how to make it. It's weaving, as we all know, is a very ancient tradition, how we made clothes, and also these rugs, which traditionally are made as squares. But here in our workshop, we offer you to use this ancient craft in a modern interpretation. So to make a little rug that is a circle, and that can be used like here we are showing an example. It can be a decoration of a bag, shopping bag, but this could also be, for example, a thing you put under your cup or under plates on the table. There are many ways how you can make and use these little rugs. And in order to make them, you don't need any special ingredients. You need to cut this circle from a thick paper. Then by using a thread, you make the thread like you cross the circle like this, like you see now very well in the picture. We have even more instructions in the website. So this is just a few examples I wanted to show you how it's made. And then you use different kinds of, you can use wool, for example, you can use some other materials that you have at home. And this is actually a very good way how to recycle old clothes. If you have an old t-shirt that you see that it's not good anymore for wearing and no one else would wear it as well. So you just cut it in stripes and then connect stripes to each other. We have put an instruction how to do that as well. And then you put it like, you see, you go round and round in this circle that you will create for making this a rug. And the result then is something like this, for example. Here we have used materials, different materials, some thicker ones, some more narrow, to make a nice contrast. So this is one creative activity that we are proposing, creating a traditional rug, but in a modern interpretation. And the other one is a Latvian traditional Christmas decoration. It's also easy to make. So traditionally it's made of straw, but don't worry if you don't have access to natural straw. You can make it, for example, from now we have all these nice paper straws. Here, if you take ones that are in a natural color, it would look almost the same as a Puzurs made from traditional straw. So then you need a thread. Thread would be 16 times the length of each of these straws that you will use. And also then for decoration, you can use some bird feathers. You can use also yarn in bright colors. Then in the website, we have very detailed instructions how to make Puzurs. Also, we did several workshops actually, but one of them was online when we did the Puzurs together with several people here, Latvians living in Greece, and with Anita from Latvia from Creative Ideas. She was presenting how to make Puzurs, and by using these pictures, we actually managed quite successfully to make puzzles, each of us at home. And I would say maybe with the first one, it's a bit complicated. But then when you understand how to make them, the second, third comes very easy. And it's an enjoyable and relaxing activity. Close to the Christmas, I was actually making some puzzles during online meetings. I can suggest to try doing that sometimes for relaxation and, you know, to a bit release your mind from all the serious things we are working on every day by doing some nice activity with your hands. And here we see the result. So here is one puzzles, and then we connect. We should traditionally make different size of puzzles, bigger ones, smaller ones, and then connect them. So what happened traditionally in Latvian homes, we made these decorations. We did hang them somewhere from the ceiling. If they move a little bit, for example, while people are passing by or when we open the door. And then we keep puzzles for a few months and then we burn them, because what this puzzles means, it symbolizes the 12 months of the year. So we put all our energy in making these puzzles related to the previous year. Then we put it in our house and then we burn it so that we can start a new year with new energies ahead of us. So that's our 2 workshops from Latvia. We will also make a 3rd workshop, but we will make it in June when we will celebrate the Midsummer Eve. So we will make a workshop about making flower crowns in Latvia. So men make flower crowns from leaves from a certain tree, and women make very nice crowns from various flowers. And we are planning to create a video to show this traditional practice. So now we have seen all the presentations, and perhaps we have any questions. We still have some time, so we planned 1.5 hours for this webinar. So if you have any questions or comments, now it's the time for that. Any ideas? Is someone looking forward to try already some of the workshops that we presented? Okay, no suggestions at the moment. I suppose everyone is already quite tired and had a lot of information. So we presented 20 workshops altogether with the different, as you saw, foods, drinks, handicrafts, also ways to celebrate typical celebrations in our countries and beyond in the whole world. So then if we don't have any questions, any comments, I wish you all a nice day, successful end of the week. And we will keep all of you posted about the news in our project. So if you want to, I suppose many of you already get news from our organizations, but if there is someone who doesn't, you can put now in the chat your email and we will include you in the list of people who we are sending our newsletters. Because in the project, we will send one more newsletter informing about all the results and where the workshops are available for everyone to check and use.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone, yeah, for participating. I think it is very interesting and enjoyable, and this video will be available on our Moodle as well. We will publish it. So anytime when you want to look back or check something about the presentations, you will have opportunity to do so. Okay, then thank you everyone. And bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.